I've been driving for 30 years. I've had my CDL for 30 years. I've been with Pottle since last April. I got into trucking through my grandfather. Years ago, he was driving, and then the economy was going, low, and it was hard to find jobs in the 90s, and he kept pushing me to get my trucking license, and so I finally honored his wish and did it. I've been driving ever since. I used to teach high-angle rescue up in New Hampshire. I was a paramedic and an EMT for an ambulance service.
You were one of the first responders to go to Ground Zero when the World Trade Centers were attacked, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do there, and why?
Well, why I went down was just a matter of helping out our fellow countrymen. That's my goal. And when I was down there working on the pile, it was just to help. Hopefully I'd find somebody, which we didn't, but we were able to reunite individuals back with their families. I got sleep deprivation sickness twice for being up so long, and worked tediously with hardly any sleep, and then I ended up coming back home, and then ended up with some issues that I couldn't continue with my career in law enforcement. My right lung is paralyzed, and I've got some other issues.
Then you're in the cab of a truck.
Yes, sir.
On June the 8th last year on 495?
Yes, sir. 495 in Westford, Mass.
And then something happens. Tell me about that.
Yes, sir. There was a motor vehicle accident that happened in front of me. It was a head-on collision, which I found out later that was a head-on. A vehicle had stopped. I blocked the high-speed lane off with my tractor-trailer so that nobody else would hit this other vehicle that was there. I got out to go check on the lady. She was unconscious, made sure she had a pulse, checked on her breathing, could get her that she was breathing. Then I noticed that there was like a little bit of orangey flame coming out from underneath the engine. Ran back to my truck, grabbed the fire extinguisher, extinguished the fire there. As I was working on her again, I heard someone yell, and that's when I noticed there was another vehicle involved, not knowing that she had been in that head-on. And then went over to the other vehicle, checked on that individual. He was deceased, and then noticed that he had a dog on the front seat, on the front passenger floor. Couldn't get into the door, ended up having to break a window, get down to the dog. And the first law enforcement officer on the scene was a K-9 officer, so we were able to get the dog to him, and then he brought it to the vet.
You have all of this EMT training, so that kind of comes natural to you. What do you tell other truck drivers if they find themselves having to assist like this?
Well, first off is they need to, understand the basic rules of first aid, and I think everyone should get trained. It's get your CPR, get your basic first aid, and always carry your rubber gloves with you so that if you do need to help assist somebody, that you don't end up getting sick as a result of it. My grandfather's always been, when he was alive, it was always volunteer work and helping out, and our faith tells us that, we need to be the good shepherd, and that's what I try to do every time I'm out there, no matter where, who or what. And I kind of make a funny joke of it. I'm not sure if all these accidents that I've ever stopped at or all these things I've ever done are either a curse or a blessing, but it's one of those that I try to strive to just help out my fellow man no matter what. Yeah, this hasn't been my first accident that I've stopped at. I've stopped at numerous accidents and spin-outs and even since this accident, and not counting all the years prior to.